Does Apple's presumed entry into this market spell real trouble for Tesla and its stock price?
Tyler, before I get into that, I need to start with a public service announcement. I've been famously wrong at predicting one Apple product in the past, which was Apple TV, and I learned a valuable lesson. And that's what Apple is working on doesn't necessarily mean that that product is going to see the light of day. And I'm reminded of that lesson over the last 24 hours. So let's start from that point and then get to your question about the impact on the market. Do I think that Apple eventually will have a car? The answer is I don't know if they'll have a car or some other play in the autonomous space, whether it's a software and a licensing model. I do believe that with the 7 years of work that they've put into this, along with this massive addressable market that Josh outlined, this $2 trillion market, I do believe that the company is going to pursue and eventually have something there. So the timing of this is difficult to predict. The magnitude is measurable. Just one last thought on this, Tyler, is that this $2 trillion market, Apple's revenue next year is probably going to be $315 billion. This is big enough for Apple to move the needle. And I'm going to go all the way back to your question here. What does it mean for the automotive industry, for Tesla, for the broader traditional OEMs? And it is certainly trouble for traditional automakers. And Tesla, it's going to be the tale of two stories. One is the fundamentals of the company, and second, the stock. I think it's going to have two different reactions.
So let me go back to your point that you began with, not the one about getting things wrong on Apple's products. I've been wrong on them too. I didn't see any reason for the iPad. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But whatever. So you basically lay out two scenarios here. One is that Apple becomes a manufacturer of automobiles, either with a partner or on its own. The other is that it becomes a seller of technology and systems and integrated artificial intelligence and other things to auto manufacturers. Which is the smarter way for Apple to go? It would seem that the latter really is closer to their sweet spot, number one, and number two, doesn't have all of the attendant risk of becoming a full-scale automobile maker.
I have a slightly different approach. I think the former is the controlling the whole experience, what the look and feel of a car is, vertical integration of artificial intelligence, hardware, software, services, doing the full stack. I think that is Apple's violin concerto. And so that piece, to me, makes a lot of sense. There's a dynamic to that. We talked about manufacturing a car actually is pretty easy. Assembly is pretty easy. It's being profitable at its hard. So I think that they can do that. I think there is a dynamic at play here that is, it's not a fun one to talk about, but I think that this weighs on Apple's decision about what the go-to-market is. And I think that is that cars can be dangerous. It is something that the tech companies grab headlines when bad things happen in cars.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.